Let's do a walkthrough of how to create the elevations drawing, or A102 sheet for our tiny home design. One of the things we'll do is if we scroll down to where the sheets category is in your project browser, you may see A101, the title sheet. It will have a little kind of connecting line that shows you the rendering that's placed on there. It'll show you what views are actually belong to that sheet. So I'm actually going to go ahead and click the little minus sign here. That way you'll see it turns back into a plus sign. So if you need to see those individual details, that's how you can do that. But you'll also notice that the little box next to the tiny home exterior rendering is filled in with a light blue. That means that that view belongs to a sheet. And you'll see like the one down below is not filled in. So that's just little indications of where Revit shows you where those views are being placed and maybe what they're being used for. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go down to Sheets All. I'm going to right click and we want to say New Sheet. And it may come up with what kind of title block would you like to have. We're going to stick with the B11 by 17 horizontal, and I'm just going to select OK. You're going to see it's going to add now A102 unnamed. So if you right click on it and select rename, it'll have the number, which we can either change or leave. So I'm going to leave it as A102. And this one here, we're going to put in elevations, and I'll select OK. Now, in order to start doing that, first off, I'm going to go ahead and go to the south elevation. That's kind of like the front of the building. So I'm going to go ahead and show that this is what our elevation looks like. We are going to need to hide everything that's not part of our building. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the visibility graphics here in the properties palette, select edit, and I'm going to hide things like the topo solid, which we don't need to be able to show the design, and a couple other things like, for example, the planting. So I'm going to go ahead and press the P key and uncheck planting. And if I hit apply, and if I kind of move this out of the way, I can kind of see, like, do I have anything else that needs to be taken away? I'm good to leave the stairs. So we can always hide the stairs if we need to. That's also a category that we can hide. But anything else, maybe for some of you, entourage may be another category. Go ahead and I would hide that if you have any of those. But what we're going to do here is we're actually going to do something called to show the crop region, and we're going to edit that crop region. So that's this little button down here. The crop region, if I zoom out, is a box that shows how much of the model that you want to see. So when I select the outside edge of the crop region, I can actually grab the little blue dot and bring it down, and you'll see the level lines will actually come with it. So I want to make sure that I get it as close to my building as possible. But if I go too far, you'll notice it's going to cut the building off. So I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that it goes just close enough to where I can see it. Same thing here. As I drag these in, you'll see the level labels will come with it. And I can go ahead and drag that just a little closer. All right. I can also bring this down a little tighter and even bring this up just a little bit as well. So there we go. Maybe not quite that much. Okay. So this is essentially what view is we're going to bring onto our sheet. I'm actually going to hide the crop region, which is the same button. It's an on and off button down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back to that title sheet, actually the elevation sheet, and we can go ahead and now drag that south elevation onto the page. And this is what we'll kind of have there. The view scale set to 1/4 inch equals a foot. If we select it, we can always change what kind of size that we need by selecting, but I think 1/4 inch equals a foot is going to be a good size for what we're needing here, and it fits really well onto our drawing. So what we're going to do is we would go and repeat that same process for the crop region. So to be able to hide everything and go ahead and bring those on. So I'm actually going to kind of fast forward a little bit. So it's the same exact process as what we did for the south elevation, and we're going to bring all 4 of those elevations on here in a second. All right, so now that I've gone through each one of the elevations, and you'll notice that, like, if the crop region's still showing, all you gotta do is hide it. So there's one there. I'm just double checking. North elevation. There's my east elevation. Here's my west elevation. So we have everything hidden in the view, and we have the crop region size down. So that way we can go ahead and start dragging these over onto the sheet. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the A102 elevation sheet. I'm going to scroll back up here. I wanted to bring the north elevation in. I'm going to drag it over. You're going to see that actually Revit tries to help you kind of place it. So I'm going to go ahead and line up. You'll see the blue tracking line kind of help you there. and you'll notice it'll kind of figure out some of those things too. So I'm actually going to go ahead and click to place that here. So I want to make sure I don't run into the border. So what I might do is I'm just going to use my arrow key to bump this up just a little bit. And you'll notice here that, like, even though the outline of the crop region that's hidden may run into the view label, once I place it, it's no longer there. If I want to select a view, I can always either drag it or I can use the arrow keys to kind of place those in better spots. I'm going to go ahead and drag over the east elevation. We'll put it over here. You'll see that in this case, see the blue tracking line? That's help keeping track of where the middle of the building is. And I'm going to go ahead and click to place that where it is. And then the same thing for the west elevation. I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing. Help line up these views and make it look nice and neat, just like how we see here on the screen. So that right there is going to finish up our A102 elevations drawing, showing our 4 elevations of our tiny home design and what it looks like to see where windows are placed, doors, and then also some of the building height.